much, MarkBradleyMorrow.
Oh, it is so good to be here tonight in Holy Colorado. And let me look around at you guys. I'm telling you what, this is a good-looking crowd. All the women are beautiful, the men are handsome. You know what, I'm going to go out on a limb, okay? You're the best-looking crowd I've spoken to today. I'm not kidding you. Really, you are. You are. So, just flew in on Thursday from Erie, Pennsylvania. I talked to my wife yesterday. We got 10 inches of snow the other day. That's really normal. Really not a big deal. It's about 0 wind chill factor there. So she's toasty warm with our daughter's faith. But just flew in the other day. Do any of you flown recently? Raise your hand if you've flown recently. Yeah, is it a particularly fun experience, sir? It is. Oh, this guy is. Okay. He's a troublemaker. Actually, but you know, maybe back in the 60s and 70s, it might have been glamorous. But with the way things are now, you know, you got to take your shoes off. They treat you like a terrorist. But you know what gets me? The fees, right? All these fees they're tacking on. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. The other day, they charged me $30 for 2 bags. Under my eyes. I mean, come on. You know, they're really stretching it. $15 to use both armrests. Really? You know? But the worst was, I'm walking down the aisle, right? The stewardess says, "Excuse me, sir, can I help you?" And I said, "I'm just going to go use the bathroom." And she said, "You are aware of our $25 lavatory surcharge?" I wasn't aware of that one. I had to walk back to my seat and hold it. I'm just glad I was wearing black pants when I got off the plane. Wow. So anyway, the last few years I've traveled all around the country doing stand-up comedy, speaking at pregnancy center banquets, places like Cleveland and Nashville, Dallas and San Francisco. But ladies and gentlemen, tonight I am in Holyoke, Colorado. That's right. I have reached the zenith, the pinnacle of my career thus far. I mean, it's all downhill after tonight, right? Right? My agent's going to give me a call. "Mark, New York City wants you." You know what? I've been to Holyoke. No. How about Chicago? No, I've been to Yuma. Miami wants you. I've been to Brush. Come on. Colorado. This is the place to be. So anyway, you know, I've got to share the stage with some celebrities over the years, open up some shows for them. I got to open up 6 shows for Victoria Jackson from Saturday Night Live. Some of you might know who she is. She's a wonderful Christian woman. I got to open up a couple dinner concerts with Davy Jones of the Monkees. Hey, hey, he's a monkey. Still, 45 years later, he's still monkeying around. But in Vegas a couple years ago, I got to open up for Joan Rivers. Some of you may know who Joan Rivers is. She's about 78 years old. And to be honest with you, if you listen to her comedy, she's mean. Her comedy's mean. So after I opened up for Joan, she came back stage and gave me a big hug. She said, "Mark, you know what? I really enjoyed your comedy. I think you have a lot of potential." And then she said, "You know, if I could turn the clock back 40 years, we'd be an item." And I'm like, "Really, Joan? Because I'd be like 8. Weird. Those Hollywood people. Weird. But probably, you know, probably one of the greatest things in my stand-up is many years ago, before he passed away, I got to share the stage with Old Blue Eyes. Yeah, Frank Sinansky, one of the greatest Sinatra impersonators you would have ever seen. That was awesome. That was awesome. So I flew in on Thursday, and you know, Jan's such a wonderful woman. She asked me, "Mark, are there any special needs that you might have before you come in?" I said, "You know, I'm pretty easygoing, but really I'm 6'4". I have some pretty chronic back and neck problems. If you could just pick me up at the airport in an SUV, you know, because of my height and stuff, my stature, I'd appreciate it." I was picked up in an SUV, a slow, ugly vehicle. So, I don't know, Jan. Maybe you do things differently here in Colorado. So Jan picks me up and she says, "Mark, are you ready for lunch?" I'm like, "Yeah." So we're sitting there, we're looking over the menu, and Jan says, "Mark, while you're with us here for a few days, I just want to let you know that money is no object." I'm like, really? She said, feel free to supersize any item on the menu. Wow. So I got the biggie fries. I'm telling you. So after Jan pulled away from the drive-thru window in her SUV, she asked me if I wanted to go out for some dessert. I'm like, sure. And she said, what are you interested in? I said, you know what, for me, just a good cup of coffee and some good cookies. That's what I'd like. And so I'm thinking, you know, Starbucks. Did you know that Brush does not have a Starbucks? Or Yuma. I don't think Holyoke does either. So no Starbucks. So I'm thinking, well, you know what? Maybe there's a little cool mom and pop diner that she's going to take me to, you know, get some coffee and cookies. But you know what? Nope. Jan's on top of things. She always is. And I had a great cup of coffee and cookies. I did not know that there was a community blood drive going on. And I had never donated blood up until the other day. And I just got to keep the Band-Aid on another 24 hours. I was told not to lift anything heavy. But anyway, Jan, what a woman. My wife's back home. Her name is Jeannie, and we have been happily married now for 18 years. 18 years. Do we have any happily married couples out here? Give yourselves a hand. So yeah, 18 happy years. As a matter of fact, back in October we celebrated our 22nd anniversary. Do the math, people. Do the math. This guy's going, 22 minus 18. Honey, what's up? I'll get that one. But we've got some great children. And I remember when our children were really little. They were really little. And it's weird, when you have little kids, I don't know about you guys, but my wife and I started rhyming everything. We started rhyming everything. It's like, Rossi got a soaker dover? You know? Faith to eat an apper-tapper? You know, give Daddy a huggy-wuggy. I mean, we're rhyming everything. And there was this one morning, right? My wife's at the sink and she's doing some dishes. I sneak up behind her and I wrap my arms around her and say, hey, how about making Daddy laddie? She looked at me in the eyes and said, get to work, jerk. You're rhyming everything. The other day my son was causing a few problems. I said, hey buddy, hey, watch it or I'm going to go get the paddle. He looked at me and said, we have a boat?